Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is LL3's latest podcast. I know I've done another one earlier this morning, but same day, December 31st, 2013, and my name is Craig, presiding in the swampy mangroves of South Florida. And on this episode, this is one of the real hot buttons when it comes to our Bill of Rights culture, and it's entitled Connecticut Gun Owners Rush to Register Weapons and Ammo. And this was updated yesterday, to be exact. I saw the video of everyone lining up like cattle. I should just give them a cowbell too while at it. So let us begin here. Hartford, Connecticut, AP. And this was written by, to be exact, Susan Hyatt, which is Haigh from the Associated Press. Pretty brief. Hartford, Connecticut. Connecticut gun owners are rushing to register certain firearms and ammunition that will be considered illegal contraband in the new year, under a wide-ranging gun control law passed after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newton. They have until Tuesday to submit the paperwork with the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection. State police said they've had people lining up early in the morning to turn in applications to keep high-capacity magazines that hold more than 10 rounds and considered assault weapons under the new law. While the Connecticut Citizens Defense League believes the law is unconstitutional, it has been reminding gun owners of the down to make sure that they don't become felons on January 1st. I've seen the video. People lining up like a bunch of cattle. And I'll be honest. First of all, this is anti-Bill of Rights, period. Okay? Regardless if you support owning firearms or not. Alright? That's what we call freedom of choice. Alright? It has nothing to do with abortion, but the truth of the matter is, this is totally nefarious, and Benedict Arnold will be proud. Alright? I want to give you guys some facts. Okay? We don't have to go to the U.S. Bill of Rights, because I know a lot of my listeners are very familiar. But let's check out the Connecticut Constitution, shall we? Article 1, Declaration of Rights. And I like how they say here that the great and essential principles of liberty and free government may be recognized and established. Interesting, huh? Alright, here's what they say. We declare, Section 1, all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in rights, and no man or a set of men are entitled to exclusive public emoluments or privileges from the community. Alright. And here's Section 2. All political power is inherited in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit, and they have at all times an undeniable and indefeasible right, which is unalienable or natural born, to alter their form of government in such matter as they may think expedient. How many of you in Connecticut find this law expedient? People up in the so-called constitutional state, please correspond to me on this. Defend your belief on this pathetic law. Alright, and we'll just go down a little further here. Pretty interesting. I like what it says here, Section 7. The people shall be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and possessions for unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant to search in any place, or to seize any person or things, shall issue without describing them as nearly as may be, nor without probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. Well, a lot of you want to register it? you just dump that away, just like the Fourth Amendment. Alright? And I like what he say over here, but it is actually Section 8. Oh yeah. In all prosecutions, the accused shall have the right to be heard by himself and by counsel, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted by the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process to obtain witnesses in his behalf, to be released on bail upon sufficient security, except in capital offenses, where the proof is evident or the presumption is great, and in all prosecutions, by indictment or information, to a speedy trial, public trial, by an impartial jury. No person shall be compelled to give evidence against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall excessive bail be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor person shall be held to answer for any crime. Hey, keep that handy, alright? Punishable by death or life imprisonment, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in the armed forces or in the militia, in actual service time of war or public danger. I like that. I just like to repeat that again. No person shall be compelled to give evidence against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Drill that in your heads. Okay, and right over here, that will be section. Oh, let's look at section 9 of this of Article 1. No person shall be arrested, detained, or punished except in cases clearly warranted by law. Oh, well, you just threw that out the window too, right? For being a bunch of yes folks. Okay, and it says, Section 11, no property of no person, the property of no person shall be taken for public use without just compensation thereof. So what's the compensation? Gonna give you a gift card from your favorite supermarket? Alright, and it says, right down here, no person shall be attainted of treason or felony by the legislator. I think you should all indict those people, those assholes that voted for it, for treason, because they're aiding and comforting the enemy. What's that? The state. Okay. And L, Section 15. Every citizen has the right to bear arms in defense of himself and the state. Not privilege, but right. When you register your property, it can become a privilege. Yes, my fellow Connecticutans, a privilege. Alright. And let's go. Alright, there you go. Well, very, very interesting. Oh, wait. No hereditary emoluments. I'm going to pronounce that correctly. Emoluments, privileges, or honors shall be granted or conferred in the state. Well, we'll check this out too. Section 20. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the law, nor be subjected to segregation or discrimination in the exercise or enjoyment of his civil or political rights because of race, religion, color, ancestry, or national origin. Well, that means if they take your firearms away because you're black, well, there you go. Or you're white, there you go. It's self-explanatory. And it really, really is a hot button, like I said, when it comes to people's natural born rights. Doesn't matter what it is. This is just an example. And these numbnuts that want to register their firearms, they just breach their oath of not just the oath of office, but the people that were registering them. You just violated your oath as voters, and all those numbheads, those bend over Bobs and Barbies are doing it. You have no damn clue. Plain and simple. I recommend to you guys examine Death by Government, which is by R.J. Rummel. Okay? You can get the book, any bookstore, or go online, just engine search Death by Government by R.J. Rummel. And he does have a web page for that. He was a emeritus political scientist at University of Hawaii who did a lot of research on these topics, how certain steps can lead to genocide, democide. I'm not saying it's going to be guaranteed, but the whole thing is not about gun control, it's controlling the masses. And what's really hilarious, not so hilarious, but very insulting about saying what happened to Sandy Hook, the horrific event. What that was in? A firearm-free zone. Just like Columbine, Virginia Tech, the Aurora Theater, and on the airplanes on 9/11. Okay? What have you assholes learned? Or jerks learned? Absolutely nothing. Those yahoos in there, you shouldn't be nice to them that support this bill. And the governor signed it. They should all be thrown in prison for treason. Give them the Benedict Arnold treatment. Because right now, I nicknamed Connecticut the Benedict Arnold State. Because he was born there. And to be exact, I forgot to get my book. This book is under the notorious Benedict Arnold. And the man was born on January 14th, 1741. And very, very interesting. And let me say here. I'm just going to look here. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Exactly here. Child died. She had a second son. Yep. He was, Benedict Arnold. Actually, it was a sixth. Is it the sixth? Yeah. The sixth Benedict Arnold. Yeah. Okay. Benedict Arnold number 6 to be exact. He was born in Norwich, Connecticut. Yeah. Very interesting there, my friends. From Norwich, Connecticut. Yep, the Benedict Arnold State. At least one thing I know for sure. I'm not crazy about what he did, but there's two things I have to give him some admiration. One, he got his hands dirty, and two, at least he admit to George Washington it was all his doing, and his subordinates were blatantly ignorant. He didn't even tell them anything. So at least that man admit, yeah, I take responsibility. Don't hang my subordinates for it. And he wrote a letter to General Washington. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of his, but at least he admitted. Like those cowards in Hartford won't. Okay, and we'll do one more final thought, and this is from Thomas Jefferson. Yep, Thomas Jefferson wrote this in 1798 with the during the Kentucky Resolutions. Public confidence can be dangerous. This is under the book The Real Thomas Jefferson, under Timeless Treasures from Thomas Jefferson, page 596 to be exact. And he quoted, "It would be a dangerous delusion were a confidence in the men of our choice to silence our fears for the safety of our rights. Confidence is everywhere the parent of despotism. Free government is founded in jealousy, and not in confidence. It is